What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Football Capital and welcome back to another Premier League review. I'm joined with Kevin today. KG, what is going on?
Man, I'm just excited to be here.
Excited to be here. I mean, hey, the last time you were on one of our videos,
I knew this was coming.
it was one of our segments group chat. You wanted Ollie out. And now, a year later, Ollie's at the summit almost. Almost, yes. But yeah, guys, another Premier League week has gone and it's advantage Manchester.
I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that, especially after this morning's result.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited about a title race.
Keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
And you got to have your banter, you know what I mean? Like I remember in November 1st, we're 9 points behind Liverpool after that Arsenal loss.
There was a lot of banter.
And now we're 90 minutes away from going into that Liverpool game 3 points ahead of Liverpool.
And the game in hand, potentially.
Well, that's what I mean. 90 minutes after we destroy Burnley, obviously, you know.
Well, if we destroy Liverpool, then,
6 points.
There you go.
The title race done.
I'll take
title race done in January the 18th.
I like that. Butcher. I wish I could share your confidence, but, look, one step at a time.
Do you know what the thing is? I've gotten a lot of things right the last couple of weeks and, my predictions from the past.
You're building on confidence as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I come with this energy every week, you never know. These results might start coming through.
I think you just got to go with the flow, Butcher, and just keep keep calm a little bit. It's still early days.
Do you know what Look, I am keeping calm, but you can't help it, man. Sometimes, especially as United fans, you all know the last 8 years haven't been the best, and even to be honest, the start of this season hasn't really been the best. So when any opportunity for me to get happy, I'm going to get happy. Yeah, but
look, there's still question marks, but you know what? We can be excited. I agree because I'm excited now, especially after this morning, like I said. And you know what? We've had some tough games too, and we've got some results. But we'll talk more about that later.
I don't even know where to start. You know what I mean? Like there's so many games that I'm like, scrap a few of these and just talk about them. Some of the main ones. Yeah. I mean, look, we kicked off the round. Over there, of course, in England, New Year's Day. So you had Spurs and Leeds United.
Yeah. Now,
Leeds United and Bielsa, his system, he still doesn't like to change it, even though he doesn't get the results all the time. But and once again, I mean, last week, the week before that, they won 5-0 to West Brom.
They did.
Now this week, prior to that, was it the 6-2 to United or was it?
No, I think they had a result in between.
I think it was.
But look, Leeds.
1-0 to Burnley, yeah.
Yeah. And look, Leeds, exciting. Everyone knows they're exciting. The one thing I'd question Bielsa about is, hey, look, is there ever going to be a plan B? Because at some point...
He never changes it up, yeah.
Yeah, and look, some of the teams, the ones that probably thought they might get relegated, they're the ones that are like, you know what, let's just get enough points to stay safe. And then, we can go out and attack other teams. But I don't know what his plan is overall. Like, is he wanting to be a serious contender for maybe a European slot? Don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because, like, even watching him in the Championship, I'm like, he's never going to change. No matter if they're 1-0 down, 2-0 down, he's never going to change his system. And like you're seeing in the Premier League as well, I think for Leeds this season, it's staying up. 16 years not being in the Premier League, it's like, look, let's just this year.
Just can't go down.
Can't go down. And you know what, to be like, even though his system doesn't always work, like obviously when you're trying to attack United, you're trying to attack teams who got pace like Spurs, you're not gonna get the result. You might get a few goals at the start of the season. First game 4-3 to Liverpool. You do get your goals. You do put pressure on the other teams. But when you come to these attacking teams, where you got your fast front three, you a lot of the time you're not going to get the result.
And being honest, they actually had a few chances too against Tottenham.
Yeah,
it's not like they went there.
That's what I mean.
And sat back.
But think about it. Yeah, we beat them. United beat them 6-2. But how many chances did they have as well? Even
Bamford, terrible header.
Yeah.
Over the post, totally misread.
So there's a few times, even like they could have got that result against Liverpool at the start of the season. A few chances.
4-3.
Yeah, a few chances they could have got. Yeah. So I think when it comes to the bigger teams, as in your Uniteds, even like you got your City, did they beat? No, they had a draw to City. See, they even drew to City. So, there you go. But you have the teams around them. I think they're gonna they're usually going to do the job.
They're going to eat them up.
Yeah.
You know,
So the teams around like your Burnleys, like even your Sheffields and your maybe even Wolves, Brightons. I think they got a good chance of getting results because of injuries and all that. But even just their attacking, the way they attack, the way they go forward, overload with numbers is just very hard. And I think even I'm not sure who said it. I think Lampard said it after. Did they beat Chelsea? No, Chelsea beat them. And I remember Lampard's like, if you want to beat the Leeds team, you have to work even harder than Leeds.
You saw that with Son.
Yeah.
Like Son, by half-time, was puffed out.
Yeah.
He had nothing left in the tank. And you know what? That actually screwed one of my multis, but we'll talk about that a bit later.
He helped me out in fantasy this week, so I don't mind,
Yeah, but you could tell that Tottenham was puffed out. And even the post-match interview with Son, he was out of breath.
Yeah, and
he couldn't complete it.
And like I was listening to a podcast on Rio Ferdinand's channel, and he was talking about when he went to the Leeds training ground. I'm not sure if it was this season or whenever last season. And he was saying Bielsa plays this game at training where it's for 5-minute intervals. There's like no rules, so it's like free flying football. There's no outs. There's no
stoppage.
No stoppage. There's
no time to breathe.
There's no free kick, so you can go in as hard as you like.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently the players they didn't like it to begin with, but after a few months, I think they started to like it. And you can tell by the way they play, it's physical.
Yep.
100 miles an hour. Like even if the ball goes out, there's another coach. Bang, the ball's already on the field.
Yeah.
Let's start again. It's the ball's over there. There's no it goes up for a throw in training. Let's just get a breather, 3-4 seconds. It's 100 miles an hour at training, and then you can tell on the weekends, the football they play. Bielsa does need to just change it up, have a little bit of a plan B when they go in front.
For the bigger sides.
Yeah, for the bigger sides, and even just like a bit of a game plan when you go in front, or you're like at Spurs, you go down. Spurs have conceded a few goals this season as well, especially late on.
Yeah.
If he works them out, Leeds maybe next season can do a bit of damage. But with Spurs, I mean, they haven't had the best of couple of weeks as well, but they're slowly bouncing back.
Oh, look, Mourinho has a plan. As always, you know what Mourinho is like. He's been around for a long time. To transition back and forth from Leeds, if you were another side at the bottom, you would love the way Leeds play, and you would want your manager to play that way, right? But then moving back to Mourinho and Tottenham, he is doing what he can with the players that he's got, and he has to understand that it's I think he's gonna he doesn't have the depth.
Is Tottenham?
Tottenham, yeah. Mourinho doesn't have the depth, so he's adapting to a style of gameplay, which we know has been defensive in England.
But we know how he likes to play. Like when they versus Wolves the week before that, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago. When did they versus Wolves? They had a 1-1 draw. But anyways, they scored like literally in the first minute or so, and then they pretty much parked the bus. Parked the bus, and then late on, Wolves, they always score in the final couple of minutes of games, and they scored there to make it 1-0. And I think Jose not going for it hurts him a lot. Yeah. And you've seen like the substitutes he made against Leeds kind of made sense. I think he
took off Ndombele.
But he made the right subs. I know Sissoko came on, but Sissoko came on for someone else. Dyer, no, Harry Winks.
Yes, it was Harry Winks was first,
and then Ndombele came. Yeah, but like he's not making this. He didn't make them subs. Like, and a lot of the Spurs supporters were happy with. Oh yeah, look, he's made subs, decent subs, and he's not like he was parking or anything. Which I don't know, maybe because they were 3-0 up, the game was kind of done.
Kane didn't come off till the 85th.
Yeah,
so he had Kane and Son finished the game. So it wasn't like he was backing off, as you said. He could have easily substituted one of those two and put on a more defensive player, but he actually brought on Lucas Moura, and he went for it, but he knew he could have killed them off. Yeah,
but that's what I mean when you bring on, especially against Leeds, and that's what good managers, like regardless of how Mourinho's been the last couple of seasons at United or whatever, but like we know he's a quality manager, and like the way he sees the game, he knows Bielsa's not going to change it up. Lucas Moura, he's got the pace. He's going to find that space in behind, and he almost got the goal. Was it Lucas Moura or someone? Can't remember who it was.
I know Kane ended up.
Son played the through ball. Son played the through ball. Might have been Ndombele. But Son played the through ball. It might have been Mora, actually. I'm not too sure. Right at the end, and the keeper made a good save. But then, there you go. Like, you put in the plays that you need to kill it. Like, all right.
Kill them off.
At the end of the day, 3 goals, what that one extra goal could mean top 4, could mean second, could mean champions. Because
this year, right?
it's that close. Like the thing you posted or shared the other day, or you tagged someone, how, like, the Banter United are joint top.
Yep.
Then you have like 3-4 teams on joint second, and then joint, and like Arsenal's in like 13th or something, and joint 4th, because of the gap. And but
that's the reality of this year's league.
Yeah,
right?
and like, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, just before Christmas, we were talking about if Spurs beat Liverpool, are they title contenders? Chelsea was up there too.
3
and now
results.
like 3 bad results, and they're like, oh no, they're out. But then it's like, you know what it is? Like this year's Premier League is like, what's the flavor of the week?
Yeah.
This week it's United first. Next week, you know what? But City got 2 games in hand. If they win them, they're going to be the flavor of the week. But Liverpool's still there.
Everyone sort of forgot
Everton,
about City for a second because they had a couple of games in hand.
Yeah,
and all
now,
of a sudden, if they win, they're 1 point behind United.
And 2 points in front of Liverpool.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I think the way the fixtures are coming up, let me have a quick gaze.
But like, it just speaks to the level of the English league at the moment, because Everton went off to a flyer at the start. Everyone was bagging United for some poor results, especially at home. But
Chelsea were winning the league.
Yeah, they
with,
were. They were.
The German Jesse Lingard, Timo Werner, and finding Timo.
Who scored in what, 8 weeks?
Yeah, finding Timo. Where is he? I'm still waiting for the Chelsea supporters. The other German Jesse Lingard in Havertz.
Yes. Yeah. Injured at the moment, right?
No, he played. He got the assist on the weekend.
Oh yes, yep.
We'll jump onto that game while we're speaking about Chelsea. 3-1 loss to City. They lost 3-1. Didn't they lose 3-1 to Arsenal not the week before, just before?
Before that. I think that was Arsenal's first win to start.
And then they drew to Villa the week before. So, like, they haven't had a good Christmas period and New Year, Chelsea. But like I was saying, their new signings, I know Chilwell's been decent. Thiago Silva's been good. But look at his age as well. He's only here for 2 seasons, 1 or 2 seasons, so you can't bank on him
to. He's like a Cavani for us.
Yeah, that's right, and you can't bank on him to give you the performances he does week in, week out. It's just not going to happen.
No,
but
look, you can see, and especially through like fantasy league and stuff like that, the Chelsea defenders were scoring a lot of points at the start.
Zuma was ahead of everyone. He was their top goal scorer for him. He's probably still their top goal scorer.
Scoring goals and keeping clean sheets, right? That's what they were used to. And they were talking about Mendy, their keeper, about how many clean sheets he was keeping, as
compared to Kepa or whatever. But anyone's gonna look good, instead of Kepa.
Well, yeah. Look,
but to be fair, he's been decent. He actually is. To be fair, he's been a good keeper for him.
Yeah, look, I think something fresh, something new to the squad. Obviously they believed in him. Having him behind them, behind that back four. But they've had a lot of signings, and I actually tipped them to win the league this year, very early on, before a lot of transfers happened.
Before a ball was kicked.
And I remember that you guys did the episode around, your predictions, and I predicted Chelsea. Look, they're not that far behind. They've just had a poor
that's
period.
That's right. And everyone's had it. And it's like, when is your team going to get that bad patch? Is it going to be at the right time to get the bad patch? United, as United fans, we've had it at the start of the season. Is there going to be another patch that United go through, and then, like you said, West could be first by the Liverpool game, but then you go 2-3 games without a win or a few draws, and you're 7th, 8th. Yeah. That's the thing. That's the scary thing. And you're like, everyone's waiting for, wait halfway through the season, teams are going to drop off. Everyone's dropping off. It's like everyone's dropping off together kind of thing. You know what I mean?
The ones that don't like United are waiting for us to slip up. Right, we've had a really good run more recently. Everyone was talking a lot of negative stuff about us at the start of the season, but at the same time, you look at that United side who has a little bit of depth now, which is different to 12 months ago when we had a conversation on that group chat. And you look at it and you're like, you know what? I'm not saying that they're going to win the rest of their games, but going halfway into the season, you've got to be confident that they're going to finish strongly.
They have to. There has to be like. Like now before we completely touch on the United game, as United, as the players, I know Darren Fletcher has now come on as part in the coaching staff.
Yep.
And there was rumours from The Athletic that Ole was going to try getting some of the older players just to come to the training ground, have a chat with some of the younger players and all that, like Roy Keane, which is, I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe not so much with the youth, maybe with the older boys, but not so much with
some of the level-headed boys. Yeah.
But I think going like for the title for United, there's got to be a picture in the changing room of Jurgen Klopp and that trophy, and they're going to be looking at that and be saying that is going to turn into 20-all if you guys don't do something about it. I can talk tactics. We can bring in the Sanchos, the Haalands, the Messis, the Ronaldos, but you guys got to want to make it 21 and leave them on 19, because if they get the title this season, we can't say shit anymore. They're level on, if you want to call it. The only thing we got is, we got 13 and you got 2. So we're slowly, the gap is closing, you know what I mean?
Regardless of whoever comes in, it's about who's there now. And it's about, look, guys, you guys are here. You guys are representing the club, and you've got to get the results. And fair to them, more recently we've been getting the results. I think, in all honesty, we sort of let the Leicester game slip up, the 2-all. But you know what? Regardless, a little blip in the road. But overall,
but the good thing about that week, we were the first game, 9 o'clock, 9:30.
Yeah,
and then everyone had to draw that week. Do you know what I mean? Like we're.
It's
like the pressure's on everyone,
It's the good old days when Liverpool or United lost, everybody lost or everybody drew.
Everyone dropped points. But like with Chelsea, I mean, look, they got in all their new players. Look,
I don't think we've heard the last of Chelsea. I think
we haven't, because then even though I give him a lot of stick with Werner and Havertz, like I said before, they bought the wrong Kai. They should have bought Kai Rooney or Kai Cobra. I've seen better performances on that Kai Cobra. Wrong Kai, do you know what I mean? But with City, like you just touched on before, bit of an underdog, the dark horse. Not so much in of stature wise, as in we weren't talking about him. Like you said, the 2 games in hand they had.
It was the Tottenhams, the Liverpools, the Chelseas, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, hang on, there's 2 teams in Manchester that are fighting for this title.
Yeah, so it's like we just came out of nowhere. They rid off United, and then City was dropping stupid points as well. Like the teams that you're like.
West Brom.
Yeah, they did.
They drew to West Brom and then you got sacked. Bilic, they sacked him after that result. But then they've had some shit results as well, and not just the results, but the style of play. It's like the style of play that Pep brought to the Premier League is being found out now. I just think, and the teams that are trying to play it, it's not working out anymore. Like United does my heading. We're trying to play out from that. We're trying to play out from the back. Yep.
We're seeing Arsenal trying to play out from the back. We don't have the players. Like Arsenal doesn't have the players to do that.
Yep.
And we've seen it against Sheffield United. Passing it around the back, and then keeper makes a mistake and we cop a goal. Arsenal, we've seen it heaps of times with them, and so many of the other teams that just kick the ball forward. How about we just do that? Just start off, knock the ball. All right, you want to knock it out to the side, but let's get it up there as fast as we can. We don't have the players like Pep did or Pep does to play out from the back and do 35 passes and then score a goal. We're just not that.
Well, they're missing David Silva. That's one. Like the moment he left, it sort of changed the dynamic of them moving forward. But you're right. The teams that are, I think the one thing that you've got to try and do, and especially against the decent teams, is you got to hold on to the ball, right? I know that United likes to play counter-attacking, but you want to play your high percentage passes, right? The low percentage stuff, you do that in the box, and obviously if you pull off something, then you create an opportunity. But other than that, you really want the ball. Without the ball, you're not going to score. And more importantly, the bigger teams are going to counter-attack you anyway. They want to hit you on the counter. Liverpool does it a lot. United's been doing it a lot. So, the bigger teams, hold on to the ball. Don't do that risky stuff at the back. And I'm not a fan of it, even in park football. I don't like that kind of stuff. Boot the ball up front, and whatever happens from there happens. But
I don't even mind you guys playing out from the back. But you don't have to play out to the back, then back to the keeper, then keep in front of the goal. Yeah. You've seen City do it so many times, even they still do it now. Ball goes out to Walker up the field, down the sideline, back into De Bruyne, and then looking to switch. You don't have to play it with your defense. We don't have the players. Yeah. Sorry, but Maguire can't do that. Nah. Bailly's capable of errors. Lindelof is same as Arsenal's defense. You're not gonna Mustafi and all these David. We just don't have the players to play that system, and I think that system now, and we even seen in some games, I've noticed that Pep Guardiola, he's trying to change it up a little bit. He's kind of like not so much sitting back, but that when United played City in the derby, it was like
was a stalemate.
It's like, yeah, it was like, oh, United came into this game. He's like, oh, you know what? We're going to go on the counter attack because City are going to have all the ball.
Yeah.
And then City are like, we're going to be ready for the counter attack. So they sat back and we have the ball. Like, how can we have the ball?
Yeah,
and both teams were like,
what are we doing?
Do you know what I mean? And
You're
it
not
happened.
playing your game, we're not playing our game.
And it happened against Liverpool as well. I think the game that they had drew 1-1, Liverpool and City, where this very, very similar, I think, from City, where they're like, oh, they're going to be on the counter. We're not going to play our football. And again, it turned out to be a draw. And it didn't even look like even both teams were trying to go for it towards the end of that game with the City and Liverpool. Even City and United is like, oh yeah, 88th minute, we'll just keep it, because we don't want to throw it away now because, and I don't know, I don't think that, like, I don't know, maybe is it the pressure now, the Premier League trying to take that title back off Liverpool? It's
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Like you don't want to slip up.
Yeah, you don't want to slip up.
You're not risking anything.
And you're not risking it. So it's like, I don't know what's happening, but 3-1 there, huge win for Manchester City.
City probably could have got more.
And this game now, they played De Bruyne up front as the 9.
Yeah.
They played him up front as a 9. Chelsea, what is going on here? I don't know.
And he picked one up. He was in the right spot.
The one he missed early doors, I think.
Did he miss?
Yeah.
But I saw the goal I saw.
Oh, the goal.
He was in a perfect position to slot that one in.
Yeah.
But they were on fire. Like, you're looking 3-0, you're like, geez, this could be anything. And I was hoping for, like, one of those 6-0, 6-1s.
Yeah.
But look, at the same time.
The way the season's going this season, any 5-4s, 3-0s. Like, we had a 3-0 with Brighton and Wolves. We had a 3-0 there. Arsenal 4-0.
Yeah.
Three wins in a row out of the relegation zone.
They won't stop talking, seriously.
Arsenal fans. They're like, what's that Pokemon? Diglett just heads, we're 3 games, we're back, pop our head out of the ground.
It was a rare finding around Christmas to find an Arsenal fan, and now all of a sudden the shares from all the pages, AFTV, they're all happy,
Yeah, we're back. Arteta back in now, let's keep him, give him a chance now, give him a transfer window.
They're only 10 off the top.
Yeah, 10 points off the top. Yeah.
But look, admittedly, I've got to give it to the Arsenal hierarchy that they didn't pull the trigger on Arteta. Whether or not it's the right decision or not, it's similar to the conversation we had about Ole a while back. But, they're backing him. So let's just see what happens in January.
Yeah, look, I just think like clubs don't need to be so trigger happy. You know what I mean? Like, you're in a bad patch. There's every club, like the United situation and the Arsenal situation and the Lampard situation, it's all different in all different kind of ways. You know what I mean? Like with Arteta, he needs time. Like what's the goal here? You're not going to win the league with that team anyways.
No.
You need to start and build. So what you've gotten rid of Emery. You've brought in Arteta for a year, and now you're going to get rid of him. And where are we going?
Lampard stay?
Yeah, I think Lampard stays. But the problem with that is it's the club itself in its DNA sacks managers. Yeah, no matter who you are, doesn't matter who you are, because regardless if you're a legend or not, the Chelsea DNA now is if you don't perform, you're going to get sacked. Yep. And I think
he's the lowest at the moment in terms of at this point.
Yeah, out of all the managers. Yeah, but like you got to look at you got to look at it in a context. Like here, you've lost this many games, but like you win 2 games and you're 4th, you're 3rd.
Yeah, it's a different.
I reckon you got to give him time. You got him the new players. They're going to need time to gel. If you give him a transfer window now, maybe picks up not massive, not huge players, but 1 or 2 just to fill in. Maybe get rid of some dead wood.
Who do you think they need? What do they need?
I think they might need another centre midfielder. Right. Someone, maybe a defensive mid.
Okay.
Because Kante at the moment, I don't think he's doing it.
Yep.
I think he's kind of lost it a little bit. Yep. I don't know if maybe he's just a bit in and out of form. Because he was decent at the start of the season. Now it's kind of dropped off a little bit. They definitely need a centre half.
Yep.
And then just their attacking players need a gel. Yeah. And they're in I think. I know Kovacic is decent. I don't think they rotate too much, because I think this year you need to rotate.
Okay.
You need to player manage
because of everything.
Because everything that's going on, you got the fixtures that are coming up. There's a lot of fixtures, a lot of games, and you need to rest your players, man. Now we've seen it last year with United burning out towards the end of the season.
And that might still happen.
That's what I mean. That might still happen. That's why you need a lot of depth. Like everyone talks about Donny van der Beek. Why isn't he starting? But
I think that's the plan with him.
Players are going to burn out. Bruno is going to burn out. You've seen it. Bruno hasn't even been the best in the last couple of games. Yes, he's been getting the goals and assists, but majority of the game, he's
not.
He's trying. Like, to be fair, he's trying. He's doing things, but he's not in the game like how he was at the start of the season, right? And then you look at with Chelsea, they just need a gel. And for me, Lampard has a system that he's maybe forcing players in. Maybe he doesn't need to play Havertz all the time. He doesn't need to play Werner all the time. He's better. Most of the players that are scoring all the goals for him are his players from last season. His Giroud, your Abrahams, your Mason Mounts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're the Zuma. Who would have thought Zuma is getting most of your goals as well?
I didn't think he'd be starting for them this
year.
year.
I didn't think he was even good enough for Chelsea.
I didn't pick him in fantasy, so
I didn't think he was good enough for Chelsea this year. I'm like, this guy's got to. They got to move him on. But then you got players like, a Hudson-Odoi that's slowly coming in. Does he really trust him, or is he just putting him on the field? Yep. They got rid of what's the other one? Is that Fulham?
Loftus-Cheek.
Loftus-Cheek. Yep. Like, wasn't this guy meant to be the next best thing? Yeah. And what happened? Like, is he on loan to get more game time? Because there's some matches that he doesn't even start for Fulham,
or just to get him off the books.
Or looking to sell next transfer window. So yep. I don't know what's happening with Chelsea, but I believe that he needs time. Like, we got to look at
Lampard or
Lampard.
Arteta?
No, both. I think that you can't just start look at Southampton's manager.
Oh, mate.
He lost 9-0 this time last year.
Yeah,
9-0.
I know.
Then the game after...
He was in tears this morning.
The game after that, the 9-0, they lost again. The game after that, they lost again. So you lost 9-0, then lost 2 games again, and they still went with him. They still backed him. Yeah. And look at him now. Look how he's improved the team now. Yeah. He's gotten some decent players. He's got the players actually playing now. Just because you lose a few games, like what? All right, big deal. We lost 6-1 to Spurs. Well, we're going to sack Ole. Fergie lost 6-1. Fergie lost 4-1 at home. Fergie's had these big defeats before.
Different eras though.
But doesn't matter. Like, you still got them games where shit, it just doesn't. It's just one of them games where it goes in for one team, doesn't. And I get it that Tottenham game was completely different.
We did it to Arsenal when they lost 8-2. Then they went and bought 6 players or something.
Yeah, things like that happen. But I think jumping the gun and sacking managers like Slaven Bilic, it just draws to the team that's maybe favourites to win the league, and you get sacked.
I feel bad.
They brought in Big Sam Aladici.
Yeah, well, what's he gonna do?
And he's got the worst record of a manager coming in and like one draw or something, 1 draw, 2 losses, and he's got slapped up 4-0, 5-0.
He got slapped by Leeds.
And then to Arsenal 4-0. So you're conceding like there's about 10 goals in like 3 games or so.
Yeah.
So
mind you, the own goal in the Leeds game didn't help them. They started really poorly.
Yeah.
He kicked it back. I
don't know.
So I don't know what he was thinking.
I think the guy, whoever he was versing in head to head in the fantasy, had his goalkeeper in there, and they probably conceded. But moving on. So we had Leicester City 2-1 away win to Newcastle, and they're another team that's up there when you're looking at title race.
Jeez.
See, we talk about United, we talk about the cities and Everton's and whoever else is there, Chelsea's and Tottenham's, but no one's talking about Leicester City.
Mate, the thing about Leicester City, I think Brendan Rodgers came out and said we're the disruptors. You know, we might not have the biggest budget, but we're gonna make sure that nobody has an easy time in winning this league. And you know what? That mentality is pretty good because you pick up enough wins, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in the top 4 and maybe challenging for a title in this environment because the league is so tight.
Yeah, it's so open as well. Yeah, tight and then open at the same time. Figure that one out.
Yeah, well, look, tight because 10 points separate the top 13 teams. And anyone slips up and form, no one's really found form. The informed team at the moment is United, but we've started slow. And nobody's really had that massive patch where this time last year, who knew if anybody was going to ever beat Liverpool? You know what I mean? They were talking invincibles and stuff like that.
Quadruples.
Yeah, quadruples.
I was hearing, they're going to dominate, do a back-to-back, just as dominant.
That's right. The end of the season saw them pick up one trophy. People can dream, you know? Yeah, of course. But yeah, look, Leicester's definitely one of those teams not to mess around with. Vardy, clinical as always.
Like always, yeah.
And I was, you know what? There's one player, I think United was linked to him, Tillemans. back in the day. He scored a very nice goal to sort of
him and Matt. Like you look at this game now, Vardy doesn't even score, but you get a cracker goal from Maddison and Tielemans with your two midfielders there, and that's what I mean. You get like they're a good team, and the way what Brendan Rodgers has done since he's come in, he's done a good job in my opinion. I mean, even though they kind of bottled it at the end of last season where they needed just that win or draw, whatever it was against United, to get that Champions League spot. But even the games before that where they could have won or should have won, they dropped points there. But if they can hold out this season, if they can keep pace with the rest of them, which is it's going to be difficult because even with them, they don't have a big squad. I'm not sure how much, and this goes for some of the other teams as well. I'm not sure how much not having fans there affects some teams.
It helps or hinders. Depends.
Yeah, so for some teams it might help that there's no fans, like maybe Arsenal. If Arsenal don't have fans there and you're getting slapped up or not performing, Arteta will probably have been sacked.
Yeah.
But then you got teams like Sheffield who still haven't got a Premier League win since the fans let at the start out of the lockdown or out of post-COVID.
They've been on a decline.
They've been on a decline.
They had a poor finish to the season.
They were like literally. I remember coming back out of that we had Spurs and then we had Sheffield, and it was like United and Sheffield's on, fifth position, fighting for Europe. United's in seventh. It was a massive game. Do you know what I mean? That was a massive game.
You look at Sheffield and Leicester and those teams, and you're like, somebody's got to slip up.
Yeah, somebody's got to slip up. And like, say the fans, and we've seen it. Like, I know there was only 2,000 fans for some clubs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It didn't last that long.
Didn't last. A couple of weeks. Yeah. But still, some of the teams still had some fans there. I think Liverpool and all that still had their fans.
Yep. So
no excuses from you guys. But yeah, you said,
you look at Leicester, and any team that looks at Leicester never thinks, okay, there's 3 points there.
Yeah.
No one. I don't even think Liverpool could look at Leicester and go, there's 3 points there in the bag.
Yeah.
You have to respect Leicester for the squad.
But then you can say there's a few teams like you can get a Wolves and play Wolves and be like, oh yeah, that's not easy.
Well, United, we've struggled with Wolves.
That's the first time we've beaten Wolves in the Premier League since 2012.
Yeah, 6 or 7 attempts or something like that. Yeah. So
we've beat them in one of the cups, but in terms of the league, we haven't, and we just beat them. It was a deflection, 90th minute goal, but
you've got to take your chances, right?
That's right, but that's what I mean. Like going to playing Southampton now. Like you're looking at, like I remember when we beat the last minute against Wolves, and then Liverpool drew to Newcastle 0-0, and then we're like, all right, we beat Aston Villa, and it's like Newcastle, Southampton, Liverpool, Southampton, and we're like, this is gonna be a beat. Like when has that ever been? Like Liverpool lost to their feeder club. It's a bit embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna go. They're gonna go back into the transfer market. Maybe get Ward-Prowse. Get Ward-Prowse. Get Danny Ings back.
Well, it's funny. Hey, he sunk him, right?
Yeah.
And it was a good finish this morning. It was a lob over Alisson to the far corner. But look, respect to Leicester and their result, and respect to Southampton with their result. The one thing I loved about Southampton's result was the reaction of their manager on his knees, in tears. Even when Klopp went to sort of shake his hand, he didn't even sort of acknowledge him for that moment because you knew what that meant.
Yeah.
He just knew what that meant, and good on him. Like, not just because they beat Liverpool and I'm a United fan, but, Southampton are holding their own.
And that's what I mean, eh? It's like Southampton. I picked them to go down this year.
Yeah, I think
I picked them to go down. But like the other day, I was watching that video. I just wanted to see our predictions, and some of our I think Rami had Villa to go down, West Ham to go down. He had someone else that was doing decent to go down as well. Newcastle.
I think I had Sheffield at 7th, and
yeah. Like it's nuts. But then that's what I mean. You don't know. Like West Ham, we picked them. I think Ferdy, Rami both picked them to go down, and we're laughing. We're like, oh, they're gonna have the best stadium in like the Championship. They just beat Everton, who were up there, who are meant to be winning these games. You're at home as well.
And the way Everton started, like you were looking at Everton, you were thinking, Calvert-Lewin, man, how many goals are you going to score this year? And, they've struggled more recently. But at the same time, I think the influence of James Rodriguez when he first came back to the league, I think he had a point to prove. So,
But also Richarlison, I think Richarlison's their main man. Once he got that red card, 3-match ban, They went like 4 games. They drew to Liverpool. I think he got the red card in that game. So that's the game they drew. They should have lost that offside call on Henderson's goal. But after that, they lost three or 4 on the bounce. You know what I mean?
I think they picked up just 1 win.
No, they lost 3. Then they won. I think that maybe in the last 5. Maybe they won the game after that.
Yep.
But I remember after we beat them 3-1, that was their 3 consecutive losses in a row and no wins in 4.
Yeah.
But then again, you look at the table and you're like 29 points. You win your next game. They got a game in hand as well. So they win their game in hand, and you're like 4th.
Well, look at that. They won 4 straight, and they lost yesterday. So it's that's
what I mean. But that's what it is. You win. You're on a good run, 4-5 games without a loss. Lose 1 game, and then here we are. Almost. Look at Chelsea. Look at ninth position. We're laughing at Arsenal, but Arsenal are only 3 points behind on the same games as well.
And they've picked up 3 on a trot, Arsenal. So they're getting into a bit of form.
That's what I mean. That's why the league is absolutely crazy.
And I hate that because I know what's going to happen. Arsenal have played poor all year, and then they're going to come up against United and have one of their best
So if you look at, I know, but if you look at how many, like the amount of wins every team has had, if United wins the game against Burnley,
the one in hand.
The one in hand, which will make us 17 games each.
How
United.
fitting is that? How fitting is it that the 18th game, the last game of the first set, is against Liverpool?
Yeah,
that's pretty.
But then I'm saying United's gonna be the only team with 11 wins. Once everyone, even if City win their next 2 games, the 2 games in hand, and everyone's on 17. We're still going to have United. Who would have thought United goes into that game against Liverpool potentially with the top of the league and most wins out of any other team in the league?
Yeah, see, look, that makes me smile, Butcher. So I'm happy.
I told you, man. Ollie's still at the wheel. He needed a bit of a jump start. The tire had a flat tire. Sometimes NRMA sometimes takes a bit longer to come and service the car.
2-hour wait.
2 hour wait, 4 hours sometimes, depending on how the weather is.
Look, the only downfall, not downfall, but the only negative, I guess, part of our season at the moment, from a United perspective and an Ollie perspective, is the Champions League, right? We got that wrong. I don't know how we got that wrong, but we did. But it may have actually then highlighted the focus on, hey, Liverpool's chasing us for these title wins from a Premier League perspective. We can't let this one go.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd like. You had for the Champions League loss, we needed 1 draw, and you go back to the Istanbul Besiktas first game where we should at least get minimum a point.
Just get your point.
Just get your point, whatever. Or it should have been an easy win after you beat PSG and Leipzig in the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
The next 2 games you should have confirmed that, right? But the thing is with me is you look at it, it's like we got drawn into that group, and it was. You guys in a group of death, you're out. All right, no worries. Yeah, now when we're out, everyone's like, he's out, right? Yep. Regardless of that. The way I see it, if we went through into the Champions League, we're getting knocked out. My opinion, our squad is not strong enough to compete at that level at the moment. We would have got Barcelona, we would have got Bayern Munich or something, and we would have got knocked out. So it's like, all right, we made it, but then we're just getting knocked out. Anyway, we just collect our participation award.
Yep.
And that's all we're here for. Maybe the loss was a big wake-up call because Ollie's job, I don't think it was on the line, personally. But the way the fans reacted, media, everyone's got to get their clicks. It
was disappointing.
Yeah, but his job was on the line. And every time his job was on the line, if you look at the media perspective, United players step up. And you can tell they're playing for him. You can't. It's not like a situation where with Chelsea where they didn't play for the manager, didn't play for Sarri, or weren't playing for Mourinho, or you have players like didn't play for maybe Wenger or Unai Emery or whatever it may be. You can tell this team wants to play for Ollie.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think that's been a question of whether or not they want to play for him. I just think the squad wasn't strong enough to compete. Yeah. That was a question for Ollie, and look, good on him, man. Look,
since that conversation though,
Telles, Cavani, Van der Beek, I'm missing one.
Telles, Van der Beek. Who else did we get in?
Cavani, and who did we bring in recently? Again, there was another one. Can't remember who it was, but
The keeper, but he was on loan.
yeah, we had Henderson, but yeah, I thought he made 4 signings. Sorry, we do. He's in the youth academy.
Palestri,
yeah.
and we got Torre that should be coming in now.
Yes. So look, he's got players who now want to play for him.
They
believe
you know what?
in it.
But that's what I was telling you a year ago. Yeah, I was telling you he needs time. I said 3 transfer windows. All right, this is his second one. Now we're in January. This will
be his third, right?
This will be.
He had
1, 2.
He had.
This will be his third.
This will be his third.
So this for me, I'm like, he needs 3 transfer windows, right? So he had that January where he brought in Bruno. You told me Ole can't attract good players.
Yeah, look, other than...
And we got my man from Sporting,
But who knew Bruno?
Bruno Fernandes.
But who knew Bruno?
Doesn't matter. Ole knew
that's
Bruno.
what I'm trying to say.
Ole knew Bruno.
But Ole also had the opportunity to bring him 6 months earlier.
Yeah, but
that's where it
the
didn't
thing
work
is,
out for us last season.
Yeah, 100%. And you can't blame Ole for that because you got to blame the owners.
Yeah, I'll take that back.
You got to blame the owners and 100%. Look, and not only that. Why didn't we bring him in on the 1st of January? Forget about the 6 months.
Why so late?
Why so late in the when we lost to Liverpool, lost to Burnley, and then he comes in and he goes on this run. Who's got 33 or 32 goals in the last year's calendar year?
Yeah,
the most than any other Premier League player ever in the history, and he's replicating the same numbers he was at Sporting, regardless. You know, you want to call him Fernandes and all this sort of stuff. It's not our fault our players are getting fouled. And I hope against Liverpool, we get the dodgiest fucking penalty and he does his little skip and puts it top corner. That's what I want.
Crossed.
That's what I want to see. I want him to go to VAR. I want him to check it. I want him to look at it. I want the ref to go across and look at the screen and still give it anyways.
Look,
that's what you guys deserve.
Well, look,
they forget.
I echo those sentiments.
They forget the crackers he scored. The one against Newcastle, top corner.
Oh yeah.
They forget all the
regardless of the goals, just the influence he has on the team.
Yeah.
It's he brought confidence to Manchester United. He brought confidence to Martial, to Rashford. They know now they're going to get a certain level of service, and they've got to work harder because they're going to get those opportunities.
And you see him like there was a clip. I'm not sure. It was only literally like a 3-second clip of him and Matic going at it, and Matic kind of pushed him or shoved him or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, he doesn't care. Like he's here for trophies. He doesn't care about his a player of the month or Man United's player of the month. He's here for the trophies. For him.
He's picking
and you
them
can tell.
up along the way.
And you can tell he's like, I wanna score more goals this season than games I've played. More goals and assists than games I've played.
That's attitude.
Look at the mentality.
Yeah.
And he's come in. He's doing what Pogba should have been doing. Right. This performance, goals, assists. The way he's playing. The passion, if you want to add that in there, the leadership, if you want to add that in there as well. We expected that from Pogba. And what I see on the field,
he's showing him up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then because every team's got egos, and everyone's got egos, right? That's why Liverpool didn't win. Liverpool won the league because of the egos. Oh, how many goals you got, Mane? Oh shit, I got to score this many. Yeah. Firmino, how many assists? So the whole front three, Salah, Firmino, they're competing, and that's why they were unstoppable.
Yeah.
How many, Trent, how many assists you got? Shit, Robert's got to put in 2 more assists this game.
Yeah.
I got to score more than you. And that's plays like that, even though it's in a friendly way, they still want to get one up on each other, but in a good way.
100%.
And this is what I think's happened at United, where Bruno Fernandes is putting up these numbers, and his name is in every after every game, regardless how bad. And he's playing the last couple of games straight out. He hasn't been playing the best. No. If that was Pogba,
yep.
that everyone would be ripping into. Oh, he lost this many balls. He lost that many. Like the last game, the last game against Villa, Pogba's stats were unbelievable.
But we give Bruno a lot of leeway because of his attitude. Right, towards how he
of course, and that's what happens to every player. We gave David De Gea so much leeway, like that.
A bit too much.
What about if poor Pogba did that? Tried to play the nutmeg against Leicester when they scored.
We would have buried him.
Out, Pogba out, get him out. Fuck him, fuck his agent. He can go. Ollie can go too because he started him. Or
you were Pogba out a couple of weeks ago.
I still think we should sell him.
Look,
I still think we should sell him. I think for me, he is a world class player. But he hasn't shown
in the
it.
Wrong team. World class player in the wrong team.
I just think for me, I always will back my player. So if you've seen that last video I did with Ferdy, how we thought Henderson was better than Pogba, I'm still gonna back Pogba, and I'll tell you why he's one of the best midfielders in the league, right?
Yep.
But when you disrespect Manchester United the way him and his agent do, how many times are we gonna let that? Like, oh yeah, it's just because it's Pogba.
Yeah.
You know what? If you want to go, how about
don't deal with Real anymore. That's
but it's
you know,
it's hard
it's
as well
inevitable.
because he's got Haaland. I'd love to see Haaland at United, but look, he comes with more drama, right?
Mission Impossible, that one.
So when you got Paul Pogba, I reckon Ole said, listen, we'll let you go at the end of the season. Yeah, we'll sell you.
Yep.
Give me the best 6 months you've ever played in your career.
Win us a freaking title.
Because that's what I said in that video when I not wanted him out, but I put it on him a little bit. Maybe wanted him out. Yeah, hashtag Pog out and all that, you know.
Yeah.
But I said, like, I lost my train of thought. So you see what you're doing to me when I hear Pogba and I don't know where
you're getting excited.
I don't know whether to keep him or go. Like, you know what I mean? But like
with Ole, right? At the end of the day, he's done a really good job with his recruitment. He's got the players that he identified that he needed. So giving Luke Shaw a bit of competition out on that left, that was really important. I think Van der Beek, his time will come.
Yeah.
The big thing for me with Ole is, hey, look, you got to continue with the momentum. Let's try and get some of these dead pieces of wood off our books so we can, put some money together and go and get somebody. Because, the Lingards,
I think Lingard can
Phil
play a part.
Jones.
Like the Phil Jones, Rojos. Did we sell Pereira or was he on loan? We didn't sell him. He's on loan. Like get rid of him. I think Jesse can play a part in the squad. I think he just signed they extended that 1 year contract of his. Now, that could be maybe to keep him on. That could be maybe to get a value out of him in the market. Do you know what I mean?
You never know.
So he's not walking away for free.
Or loan him out.
Yeah, but is it gonna make a? You're not gonna loan a player to bring him back to get experience. He's not young anymore.
Maybe not to get experience, but maybe to get the game time to not to get the experience, but it's more about get you into form. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be, but then he could. Yeah, I understand, but then you got these cup games that are coming up now that. Throw Jesse on there. He'll put in the energy. He can deliver. Scored some crackers in his time. He's proven, but he hasn't been the best. He's got some the family dramas and all that. His personal life that has a big effect. And no one knows how COVID has affected some of these players.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? That plays a big part. But I think you're right. Get rid of some of the dead wood. Like your Pogbas and
because look, the thing is, it's a happy squad at the moment.
Yeah.
So I posted the other day around the whole Eric
Bailly, and there was a lot. Everyone's like, "Oh, you Liverpool fans, listen here, yeah, listen. You watch straight here, Liverpool fans. You guys laughed. Oh, you guys celebrating joint. What Eric Bailly done a clearance. Remember, you guys celebrated against West Brom. Bundesliga wave 2-2 draw at West Brom.
2-2 draw.
Yeah, 2-2 draw. Remember that one, yeah. And you guys went on to win the league, and you look back at it. That's a moment that you're like. Yeah, we laugh. I said it. I laughed at that moment when they were 2-2 to West Brom and you guys are celebrating.
Excited.
But you know what? From that togetherness, it took them on a couple of years later and they won the league. Yeah, so we're going to be hopefully that one moment you see how much that actually meant to the players.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay, let's use that now as motivation, or you put all your energy now into winning the league. And that's
can't
believe I'm saying that, but
in fairness, that's for every team, right? It's not just for United. I love to see that when the team comes together and gels together like that to celebrate a player's achievement. Look, you think he pulled off a block. It was a pretty important block. Like normally, I think it was a year ago. If it was a year ago without Bruno, that ball goes in because he wouldn't be bothered, making. And Bailly
probably gets a hamstring injury out
something
for another
like that, or
But you know what? On that, this is one problem that I've had with our team. We don't know how to close games off, right? And I remember 2017. It was around the Christmas period as well. We versus Leicester City. We're winning 2-1. 90th minute, Rashford's on a run. Now, instead of going to the corner flag, Rashford tries to take on a player and try score. Loses the ball. We go down the other end. We give away a free kick. I think Smalling was off because he had an injury or something. And then they put that free kick in, and Maguire, out of all players, scores the equaliser.
Yeah.
Right? And the same thing happened here. Rashford gets the ball down the wing. Instead of taking it to the corner flag, they just, let me take him on. Let's try score another goal. Forget it.
Yeah,
Kill the game off.
Yeah.
The game.
We should have done that with Leicester.
And then they scored. What do you call it? sorry, Villa almost scored. That Bailly saved us.
Yeah.
But you should never let it get to that point. And this is where Ollie's got to dig into him and go, listen, hey, you guys got to wake up because that is not on.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen so many times that just take it to the corner flag. I remember when I was at Old Trafford for the Manchester derby, it was City, even though they were all over us, it was still 2-1. There was 6 minutes of injury time. They had it in the corner for the whole 6 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like City, this is City. They're like, yeah, no worries. We're just going to keep it in the corner. They don't care.
No. At the end of the day, it's 2-1.
And we almost, because of that, like you said, a couple of years ago, that goes in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm telling you, 12 months ago, that goes in.
Yeah.
Before Bruno's arrival, that ball goes into the back of the net, and everyone would have been like, oh, well, United dropped points. But, and the thing was, everyone saw how important it was. The subs ran on.
Yeah.
They're the ones that, that's for me, that was like, hey, they could have waited till he walked off.
Yeah,
no, they ran on.
Yeah, like it was a cup final penalty shootout or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was like one of them.
It was like a, 100%. It was a penalty save or something like that. So,
and like, to be fair, like Villa as well, man, they are no joke team.
Oh, I was worried about them.
It's like we're versing, they're in the greatest form. They probably got one of the best players now in the Premier League, or most in form in Grealish. Absolutely killing it. And to be fair, we had a good start. We usually don't start games off well, but the last couple of weeks we have been starting off well. Got to go with Martial, and then it was
a good finish.
Bro, Michael Owen and I think Hargraves were saying how strikers would have went to the front post, wouldn't have done what Martial, like when he stayed, he pulled back, or whatever the analyst was.
Yeah,
he was in a lot of strikers would have made a different run.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka, that's what we want to see from him, puts in a great ball. But you got to
finally, right?
You got to, like finally, and you got more goals and more assists than Trent Alexander-Arnold. How about that one? Yeah, there you go.
That's a stat for you guys.
That's another one there, man. But then it starts off from Pogba. You know, he chips it over McGinn, flicks it over to Rashford. Rashford with a touch on, and it's the pace from Wan-Bissaka to get into the box. But then the goal we conceded, man, it's like, how many times are we not going to mark in the back post?
Yeah.
How many times? Like we got knocked out of the Champions League. We conceded a goal in the first minute because we weren't marking in the back post. And against Spurs,
sure, when we were playing like 3 at the back with 2 wing backs,
we were playing like 5, when the wing backs and all that. But still, it's like, how many times? Like I remember against, I think the 6-1 to Spurs, same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Wan-Bissaka,
we didn't learn our lesson.
Yeah, and it's either one player's like there. He should have, Wan-Bissaka should have been marking Grealish so that the quick free kick doesn't go to him.
Yeah. He tried to block it twice.
But then Luke Shaw's got to be like, hey, there's a play in the back post, like, and then you're looking at the goal. It's like, oh, that, and one De Gea as well kills me. I hate when he goes with his feet. He should be going with his hands. There, at least getting down, saving it. He goes with his feet. Maguire can't get there.
He seems hesitant.
Yeah, and it's like little things like that against the bigger clubs. They're just gonna. That's what I worry about when it comes to this. Like when it comes to the title challenge, if you want to call it, I still say Liverpool. Even if we win against Burnley and we even somehow beat them at Anfield, I still think Liverpool are the favourites. Maybe City as well.
I think yeah.
The only thing I worry for Liverpool and their team, I looked at their bench on the weekend.
It's pretty light.
It was shocking.
Yeah.
Shaqiri is trying to change the game. You got Origi, and then you got Williams and Phillips, and I don't know who the rest of the players are. They need a strengthen. I know they got injuries, but still, that team should be beating Fulhams and your West Broms with that squad. You got in Thiago. Everyone's like, wait till Thiago comes back. Well, here he is.
Yeah.
Well, what did he do?
And that lineup, look, pardon the 2 centre backs, and Fabinho has been playing centre back for a while now.
Yeah, has, yeah.
Other than the 2 centre backs, that was a strong starting 11 for Liverpool.
But apparently, Henderson's a world class player from what Liverpool players have been telling me. So
sure,
he doesn't even start in their own midfield. So someone help me out there. But look, even with, like you said, even with some of their players they got missing, they still got the strongest, probably one of the strongest teams on paper.
And look,
but the thing is, sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, and arguably one of the best coaches in the world, the Premier League. He
has to be.
He's got to adapt.
That's right.
He can't just keep doing the same thing. He's not. He's got to now look at it and go, well, I've only got these players, and look, the 2 centre backs were weak, but they're not. They're still Premier League players. They can get a job done for one game against Southampton.
Fulham. Or West Brom? Was it West Brom?
West Brom, they drew 1-1. Yep.
Yeah.
They
Newcastle.
They should have got the job done, right? That's when, if it was Liverpool last year, regardless what 11 he put out, they would have won. The mentality suffered a bit. I don't know if it's all this, stuff with Salah,
Mane. I think they don't look happy. I think there's something going on there because it's like when one of them gets subbed off.
Bruno's the best player in the Premier League. That's
they can't. Just that salt. That salt is getting more saltier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what? To be fair, Southampton. There's another stat for you. They've beaten. Obviously, I think there's been seven Premier League champions.
Yeah, the last
every time that team has become champions or reigning champions, they've beaten them. The only team they've done it
the following season. Yeah,
that's a good. But you can't take anything away from them. Southampton.
No, look
this season, but like I said, with that with Liverpool, they need to strengthen now in January before the window shuts. I don't know who they're gonna get. I don't know who wants to come.
Yeah, I was just.
It's very hard as well. Yeah, but it's hard to get players in. Anyone. They need just players because playing Champions League, playing the FA Cups and all that, there's going to be a lot of games. Klopp doesn't usually rest his players a lot.
No. He rested Salah a couple of weeks ago. I was not happy with him.
Yeah.
My Premier League suffered.
Did you have him captain?
I didn't have him captain. It was a draft league. But you know what? He came on and scored 2. That was that 7-0 Crystal Palace. So,
yeah, not bad. But look, we'll wrap it up there. That is the Premier League. Once again, more games to come this week. By next time, I think Man United will be top of the league, maybe even 6 points clear ahead of Liverpool. Liverpool might be even 3rd or 4th by then. Title chances gone by the time we come back.
Out of the FA Cup.
Out of the FA Cup, out of the Champions League, and not even playing Champions League yet, but out of the Champions League.
You never know.
You never know. But Kev, once again, thanks for joining.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Hope you come back soon once we're top of the table. Have another chat.
I'll be back.
Guys, like always, make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave all your comments below. Let us know how your team's going and is your team going to make top 4? And who's getting sacked next? See you later.